Pull up a chair and buckle up. It's the Original Strength BodCast.
Hey guys, and welcome to this week's edition of the Original Strength Podcast. I am Tim Anderson, and I will be your host and guest on today's podcast once again. So, first things first, I'd like to bring things that bring me joy. I'd like to share them with you. So lately, by the way, I had told you guys that I'd like to take Greek yogurt and put sour cream in it to make it more fattier. But that was because I couldn't find the Greek yogurt I was really looking for that had fat in it, because all the Greek yogurt that I found that was grass-fed and that I thought was healthy was no fat. I would like you to know, though, that I have found full-fat, healthy. I'm going to put that in quotes because it's yogurt and it really tastes good to me. So I probably eat too much of it, and too much of a good thing could be. Anyway, I have found full-fat, organic grass-fed Greek yogurt, and it's delicious. So now instead of putting sour cream in it, I like to put extra whey protein in there, and then I sprinkle a little bit of decaf coffee in there, and my goodness, I absolutely love it. It is like a decaf cappuccino, yogurty, thick, silky goodness. It's hard to explain, but I will encourage you, if you like the texture of Greek yogurt and you want to get some extra protein in and you don't mind putting whey protein in it, but you also love the taste of coffee, it's quite delicious. So that is the newest thing that brings me joy. I will also share with you that I found something new that was in my local Costco. It was called Hearts of Palm, and I really don't know what that is because it looked like little cylinders, but the name of it, Hearts of Palm, seems so, I don't know, neat and inviting. So I got a jar or two of it because it's Costco and they don't sell things in small quantities. You had to buy more than you normally would if you were in a grocery store, but that's okay because it was cheaper. But anyway, Hearts of Palm, guys, I was pleasantly surprised that I don't know what I thought it would be like, but it wasn't bad. And you can like do stuff with it, like cook it, grill it, and throw it into dishes. Yeah, you can make stuff with it. But if you've never tried Hearts of Palm, you might want to check it out. Like, I'm a fan of, like, when I go to the grocery store and I see something new and I'm not really sure what it is, I get curious and I like to try it, and that's how I learn new things. So that was my newest find at the Costco, Hearts of Palm. All right, so this week's question and answer section. I had a friend Daniel write into me, and he had some really good questions that I thought I would just share with you because they may be useful to you. So the first question that Daniel wrote was, how do head tilts, which is, he is saying tipping your head, your ear to touch your shoulder, how do they compare with head nods in terms of stimulating the vestibular system, and is one better than the other? That's a great question. So in Original Strength, we teach people how to press reset on their nervous system, and we do one of our main resets is head nods, looking up and down, using your eyes and head and moving them into extension and flexion. And that is super good for your vestibular system. If you don't know, your body is designed to follow your head. We're wired that way. And your head is designed to follow your eyes. So by doing head nods, we are helping our body remember what it's designed to do. And that's really super important for us as adults, because in our world today, we just don't move our heads a lot. And one of the quickest ways to age and get old and break down the body is to not move your head. We have two gyroscopes, information also, they're our balance system, but they're also our information systems in our ears, and they need stimulation. And if we don't stimulate our vestibular system, then we're allowing our body to break down. There's actually been research that's done upon this. Used to be a hunch, but it's actually a real thing. So the best way to keep your body healthy and resilient is to move your eyes and your head often, because that activates your vestibular system. It gives it stimulation, which gives your brain information. And when your brain gets the information it's needing and looking for, your brain feels safe and it lets you move in all the wonderful ways that you want to move. But if you needed one more reason to move your eyes and your head, it would simply be that every muscle in your body is reflexively connected to your eyes and your head. So it is super important that you move your eyes and your head, because that reflexively sharpens all of those connections to every muscle in your body. What that means is if you don't move your eyes and your head, then you're essentially dulling your reflexive strength and the connection of every muscle in your body to your vestibular system. And you don't want that. And because that can mean the difference between you getting injured from tripping or not even noticing that you tripped, and you're able to catch yourself and go about your way. So All of that to say, head nods are so super important. And again, that's just simply, it can be looking up with your eyes and head, looking down. It can be head rotations, looking side to side. And Daniel's question was about head tilts, which would be kind of like looking at your shoulder and try to touch your ear to your shoulder. Are those also good? Yes, they're absolutely fantastic. And the reason they're so super good for adults is that adults really lose their ability to do lateral flexion. Again, we get so used to not moving our heads. We're stuck on a screen or a windshield or a book or anything, right? But we have glasses, we have backup cameras, but we don't really use our head anymore. And one of the major movements of the head that we don't use on a day-to-day basis is lateral flexion. So super good reset. It does activate your vestibular system. Super good to practice. You can test it though. You can test it. Like, does my body like this? Like, I don't know. Try to touch your toes and see how good you can touch your toes. Try to do a squat. See how deep you can do a body weight squat. And then do lateral flexion for about 10 repetitions, like trying to touch your right ear to your right shoulder, your left ear to your left shoulder. And then try to touch your toes and do a squat again. Can you move better? I'm guessing and betting you probably can. And if so, that is your body telling you, yes, Johnny, I really like that. You can continue to do that and I would enjoy it. So now his question is also, Daniel asked, is one better than the other? Like, are head tilts better than head nods? Not necessarily, unless for the individual that is something their brain was really looking for and it just made their brain super happy. So it's going to be person specific, which one would be better for you. But I am a fan of, hey, you're made to move this way, move in all the ways you're made to move, because that's living in your design. And the more you move and live in your design, the better off you're going to be, the more options you're going to have for movement. And especially when it comes to your eyes and your head, the sharper your reflexive connections are going to be throughout your entire body. And I know it sounds silly, but if you really want to be strong and resilient, move your eyes and your head. Again, it just connects. Every muscle in your body is connected to your vestibular system, and by activating your vestibular system, you're essentially activating and keeping your foundation of reflexive strength throughout your whole body. I know it's super simple, but it's crazy enough to work, and it's actually how we're designed. So, all right, so great question, Daniel. I like your other question too, so I'm just going to let everybody know. So, friends, Daniel is a middle school track and field coach, and he's working with obviously 13 and 14-year-olds, males and females, and he's asking if there is a specific reset or a combination of resets that I would use for developing max velocity, speed, and stability and rigidity for his sprinters at that age. And the answer is yeah. I love sprinting. Sprinting to me is the most beautiful, powerful expression that the human body can make. It is speed, it is power, it's fluidity. It is the thing that when humans do it, other animals just stop and watch us do it, because they'll be like, dang, that is beautiful. What is that? That's a Timmy. Oh wow, that is awesome. So I think sprinting is a reset when we're tied together, but it is also our biggest expression that we can make, to me, my personal opinion. But I also believe that there are certain resets that are really good to prep the body for sprinting, and it also help reset the body to allow the body to sprint better, especially when the body's fully connected. Now, if you are not an athlete and you don't regularly perform sprinting, I'm not telling you to start here. But if you like to run sprints, or you're a coach and you like to help your athletes run sprints to get faster, whether maybe they're a football player, a basketball player, a track star, whatever. I'm a big fan of leopard crawling, crawling on the hands and feet with the butt down below the head, because that totally connects to X and prepares the body to move. And just from the neck to the pelvis, man, it makes a solid core, a solid center in your athlete, which is when you're sprinting, man, that's your engine, that's your transmission, right? That's where all the power that we can generate is going through, and all the power we absorb goes through our center. So, huge fan of leopard crawling, and here's how I would do it. I would leopard crawl about 20 yards and then walk back. And I might do that 3 to 5 times. And then I would A-skip. A-skip is like marching with a hop, right? So I would A-skip down 20 yards, walk back, A-skip down 20 yards, walk back. I do that 3 to 5 times. And by the way, guys, I'm telling you stuff that I actually do when I sprint, which is about 3 times a week. So I do this like it's my sprinting reset routine. And then after the A skip, I might do cross crawl marching or just marching, 20 yards walk back, and then I do bounding. And bounding, if you've ever seen an NFL football player about to get into the end zone and he's made 10 to 15 yards ahead of everybody, he starts prancing like a deer. To me, that's bounding, and that just feels so powerful and good. There's just something wonderful about that. So I'll bound down for 20 yards and then walk back, and I'll do that 3 to 5 times. In my marching, in my skipping, in my bounding, I've got my fingers wide open. I'm trying to spread my toes. I'm making sure that my shoulders match my hips and that my shoulders are just really involved and engaged in the drive. And then after I've done that, I'm ready to move. I'm ready to sprint, and then I run sprints. Now, if you're a high school coach, middle school coach, or a college coach, it is okay to do cross crawls, marching in between the sprints too. It's okay to do light, fast feet, fast hands, light bounding in between the sprints to, again, just reset the body, help it recover so that it can sprint again with full expression. So that's really my sprinting protocol. It has served me well. I love it. It's fun to do. It feels good. It's invigorating. And just in case, I know this wasn't Daniel's question, but when I run sprints, I run anywhere between 5 to 8, 80 to 100 yard sprints. Kind of up a hill. I run in my neighborhood. I'm a fan of uphill sprinting, which is wild because I've done that so much. When I do get the occasion to sprint on flat ground, I feel like I am Superman on steroids. It's crazy. Can you imagine if Superman took steroids? But it just feels like I can run so fast and free, and it's really neat when I watch the deer stop and watch me run and be like, "What is that? That's a Timmy?" Anyway, guys, that is the Q&A for today. I hope this was somewhat useful to you, if not entertaining and also useful. If you are not moving your eyes and your head, if you do wear glasses, make sure you move your eyes and your head often. If you wear glasses, make sure you move your eyes beyond the frames of your glasses. Get full range of motion in your eyes. Always, always, always keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth, and especially when you're moving your eyes and your head, and especially when you're running sprints. That's a whole other conversation for another day, though. But yes, when you're running sprints, keep your tongue on the roof of your mouth also. All right, guys, that is it for today's podcast. I'm Tim, and we'll see you next time.
Thanks for listening, everyone. Now go, press reset, and then get outside and play.